Hello, we meet again. Today we will talk about what topic you should supposedly master in cybersecurity world, at least have foundation of it. Let's start. The first one, the terminology. In order to relate to industry standard, first you must know some cybersecurity keywords and its meaning. Different definition leads to different interpretation. Or worse, we don't know how to act in cybersecurity because we don't know anything about it. Let's start at cybersecurity itself. Cyber, according to Merriam-Webster definition, is anything related or involving a computer, such as an internet, for example. So, cybersecurity and computer security definition is interchangeable. It has the same meaning. Because we live in a computer era, so the input, the output, and the processing part of those things must be secure. What are those? The input is data, and the output is an information, a report of what we want to see, to produce some insight, some knowledge that hopefully it can provide some assistance to us, to a company, to organization, for choosing the correct decision-making option. Because of that, information is an asset. It can provide value and beneficial effect to a company, such as forecasting sales in the next years, because of annual report from sales application software, predicting customer behavior and enhance it to satisfy customer, make them loyal to us, and hopefully another customer came in. All that because the information provided to us by the monitoring system. What happens if the information is not secure? False information leads to wrong decision making, and in competition terms, it makes knowledge fall to competitor advantage. Now we know that information must be secure. That includes the technology itself, like the processing part of the information, the server, the storage which information was stored, the hard disk drive, the workstation that wants to use the information, laptop or smartphone, and how to use that information, the policies and procedures. So, the word usage of information system security or information technology security itself, in summary, has the same meaning as cyber security. Where do we start? Knows the asset. Why we must know the asset? What object we must secure if we don't know which one is ours, which one is not? What asset? Define it. Anything that has value to a company or contribute to company value is an asset. Define value. Value is, in simple terms, a perceived benefit or usefulness of something. The more useful the object has, or if it offers beneficial effect, that object has a value. So, based on that definition, what object the company has that contribute to usefulness, that provide beneficial effect? In IT, these objects are softwares, the application to process the information, the server, where the application resides, storage, to store the processed information, the procedure, for using, storing, transferring the information, and of course, the information itself. Those that I mentioned it before are the objects that contribute to company value. In another terms, an asset that company wants to preserve. The goal of security is value preservation. The preserved asset, or we like to call it the secured asset, must have three things minimum: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality, to make sure unlegitimate user can access or read the asset or data. Integrity, to make sure the asset doesn't change unsupervised way. and availability to make sure the asset is there. It's useless if we have encryption hash, but the data is gone. And don't forget non-repudiation, agreeing to adhere to an obligation or the mechanism that sender and receiver can deny the asset is sent to him or received by him. Non-repudiation example is we sign a signature to receive a packet. Move on. Keep this in mind. Security implementation must align with business requirement. Let me rephrase that statement. Let's take a look at this example. You have a car. You think this is an asset because it helps you mobile to commute from work to work office. And how you preserve this asset? You build a garage with a gate, right? Maybe add some car cover to protect against sun ray, dust, and rain. And what if I told you the cost of building that garage is costlier than the car itself? You may be planning some golden wrapped gate and fences, the latest CCTV technology installed in the four corner of the garage with automatic gate and garage opener, equipped with up-to-date RFID sensor. But the reality is, your car is low-end car, 20 years behind the current generation. Is it worth it? Remember, security implementation must align with business requirement. You don't want the security is heavier than the asset itself. So, how did we do this alignment? By conducting business impact analysis. Business impact analysis, or we call it BIA, in simple term, is analyzing interdependencies between assets. In short, the organization must find which asset that has the most effect to the organization, how long we can survive without that asset, how fast we can recover the asset and restore it to operational state, and which asset that has bigger domino effects for us. In simple terms, which one is the critical asset? Business Continuity Management is the department that is responsible for creating the BIA, the business contingency plan, the recovery procedure, and the simulation and drills in case of something unwanted critical event is happening. In another word, disaster. BCM analyze what should we do in case disaster happens. Yes, they conduct disaster recovery plan too, ranging from selecting whether the organization should choose the hot site or the cold site to build in case of disaster, up to creating the DR team and procedure for make it to the live action. So now we know which asset that critical to us, to organization. I think this is the good idea and a good time to discuss which risk that threatening the asset. Time to learn some risk management. Risk. Risk definition is the effect of uncertainty on objective. The effect can be positive though. It's called opportunity, like finishing the project before due date and saving that extra money. Risk assessment, in another hand, is identifying and determining the level of the risk, such as finding threat to the asset, which actor or agent that can produce the risk, which factor or which way that risk will arrive, how vulnerable the asset is, how to exploit that vulnerability, what chance and probability it will happen, and how big is the impact. After we know those findings, we create the report about those facts to senior management. And they must select which risk control is the best for that asset. And of course, monitoring it over time. That includes pen test the system to see how good the security posture of the organization. It will help you find the vulnerability, risk posed by it, and it helps inspection and examination that we call audit. Why audit? Because organization wants to know the security control is in place or not. What is working, what is not. The senior management wants that deviation report. After we know the risk to the asset, I think it's the next logical step, implement the risk control to the asset, Like, not everybody can access the asset. How can we enforce the policy? Before we can enforce the policy, we must classify and label the asset. Because we know some asset is critical than the others, we must implement asset classification, or we like to call it data and information classification. An asset, especially IT asset, has a lifetime. You know, like something called end of support or end of life of an IT product. This characteristic will somewhat affect the quality of information that IT system produce. By labeling them with confidential, secret, or public on top of it, we want to limit the access to these assets. By labeling and classifying them, we can control how user treat the asset, how user use the asset, how user move or transfer the asset, how user store the asset, or how user destroy the asset securely. For example, public labeled document can be accessed by anyone, and secret labeled document can be only accessed by top-level management. Another example, do not use end-of-support system like Windows XP to production user computer. Right now, this operating system has many security problems and Microsoft doesn't want to help anymore. But how do we know which person or which group that can access the asset? The answer is by enforcing identity and access management. Now we talk about identity and access management, or IAM. In order to know which person or which group that can access the asset, first, we must have some mechanic or framework to enforce this IAM. Like, how can we force user to verify the identity, whether they have legitimate access or not, or how we can store user account in centralized server and in secure manner. Because to access the secured asset, you must first provide authentication to provide who you are. And if you are legitimate, depending on your ID, how far you can access or modify the asset depends on your privilege level, the ID privilege level. Or we like to call it authorization. And don't forget, we must have record of user accessing the asset. We call it accounting. What time user login, what time user log off, what action user do to the asset, all recorded. We talk about authentication, authorization, and accounting. But don't forget, the connection to access the asset must be secure too. Like it or not, network security is one of the topics you must learn. Network security is about how you secure the connection between you or the user and the asset. So here we are talking about VPN, IPsec, .1x, EAP, PPP, firewall, sensor, IPS, including the older telecommunication like PBX. The point is, what can you do to secure the asset in motion? This topic mainly talk about technical terms like I mentioned before, including which protocol that not secure and which is secure. Telnet is not secure. SSH is the replacement. HTTP is not secure. HTTPS is the secured one, and so on. The last one, we have to talk about software development security, IT system engineering, security operation, and the metrics. Let's face it, we use IT services, almost all of them are accessed via application, a software, either it's desktop-based or browser-based application, or even Android or Apple-based mobile application. It is useless if we have secured the data, secured the network, but the application is somewhat buggy and vulnerable. So like it or not, you must learn how to inject security at the very first phase of software development. Like it or not, you must learn how things works, engineering, and how we can put this security into development. We put it by analyzing business requirement and put security perspective into it. Can this be abused, mistreated, or wrong usage of application? So if you are programmer or developer, learn how to use code securely. And if you are sysadmin, learn how to secure the configuration. Implement change control. Don't let anyone can change or modify the system. If there is a need for change, analyze the risk first. Implement configuration management. Having a baseline configuration helps admin to roll back or to restore the system to earlier stable state in case newly configuration is not working. And don't forget, set the metrics too. How would you know if the server are patched regularly? How long it would take to respond incident? How often you should review the policy? Setting the metrics and monitoring it is a good indication of well-managed IT security department. So that's all, folks. I hope this insight will help you find your way into cybersecurity field, and we shall meet again in the next video with another topic to discuss about. Ciao.